What's up, guys? Welcome back to our college football report card series. Today, we're talking about the Michigan Wolverines. They finally got over the hump this year. Jim Harbaugh finally got him his first Big Ten championship. We're going to break all that down today. Drew, go ahead and kick us off with their schedule and kind of run through how their season went.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, terrific season for Michigan. They're just one of those teams. Like the Michigan football is just so big. The expectations are always so high for a team like that. And you look at them over the past few years, there's just one of those teams that was just such a failure season after season after season. Obviously, people wanted Jim Harbaugh gone, and this was kind of the season Jim Harbaugh had to deliver, or he was going to be gone from Michigan. And he did do that for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and run through the schedule real quick. You opened up with 7 straight wins, most notably the Wisconsin game. I thought was a really good win for Michigan. Wisconsin's already a pretty tough place to play at, but y'all went in there and handled business, winning 38-17. I think that's a really impressive win. And then on October 30th, you'll drop the game to Michigan State, and that was one of those weird games. I don't think Michigan State, even after that game, I didn't think Michigan State was the better team. But sometimes the better team doesn't always win, and that was really the case for Michigan in this game. Kenneth Walker, the Heisman candidate, really tore y'all up in that game. I mean, the dude literally ran around like there wasn't even a defense there. I mean, he was just running touchdown, 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 touchdown. Like, he had like 5 touchdowns in that game. It was one of the most craziest performances I've ever seen from a running back. So it was just one of those fluky losses y'all had, but were able to recover pretty well after that. Winning against Indiana, Penn State, blew out Maryland, and then that big game against Ohio State, pretty much one of y'all's biggest wins over the last decade. Not only did y'all beat them pretty handedly. I mean, if you watch that game, Michigan really did look like a much better team than Ohio State, especially up front. Michigan's offensive line was just dominating Ohio State's defensive line, and it just seemed like Hassan Haskins was just running for 9, 10, 11 yards per carry every single time. It was like Ohio State had no answer for Michigan's run game. A really well-coached game. Players played well. They played hard. And then you went on to play Iowa in the Big Ten Championship and got you a win there. Unfortunately, y'all did go to the Orange Bowl against Georgia. It wasn't really a competitive game. Georgia they're just much better than Michigan. And that's not even a knock on Michigan. Michigan's still a really good team. They were a really good team after that game was over. But Georgia, it was just their season. They're on a whole different level. Honestly, even though y'all lost, y'all made it to the playoffs. I mean, that is something no one saw coming from Michigan. And I mean, you look at the preseason predictions for the playoffs. No one had Michigan going to the Final Four or even beating Ohio State. Everyone thought Michigan was just going to come out and lay a complete egg. And Jim Harbaugh really turned it around this season. I think Michigan has a bright future heading forward. I think that getting over that hump over Ohio State is really going to be a big confidence booster going forward. Hopefully, when you play them again next season, y'all can get rid of that monkey off your back and you can kind of go in with a little more confidence, and maybe you can find yourself back in the Big Ten Championship, even a playoff spot next year, but we'll just have to wait and see. Anyways, I'm going to go and throw it back to you, Aiden. Go ahead and give us a little bit of a rundown. What were your opinions on Michigan's offense and defense?
Yeah, Michigan started out great, 6-0, 7-0, and then they ran into Michigan State, which was by far their toughest competition at that point in the season. And I think Michigan was believing in themselves a little too much, thought they were a little better than they were, and were running a little high on their own coattails. Bit off a little bit more than they can chew against Michigan State, and they threw the game away there at the end. The quarterback threw a pick late into double coverage. After that, he bounced back and played great against Penn State. But obviously, offensively, they relied heavily on Hassan Haskins, 20 touchdowns, over 1,300 rushing yards. They were pretty balanced, but he was the number one attack for that offense. McNamara, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. He was all right, around 64% completion percentage. 15 touchdowns, 6 picks, so about average. He's not going to win you a game. He's not going to lose you a game. We saw in the playoffs against Georgia, he didn't play well, but, against that great Georgia defense, when their stuff in the run, he's not going to, be making crazy plays, throwing his team back into the game. Defensively, of course, they were stout. Aiden Hutchinson was a beast against Ohio State. Specifically, I feel like that was Michigan's best game of the season, where they put it all together offensively and defensively, especially on the defensive side. They were getting to the quarterback very effectively and very efficiently throughout all 4 quarters. which really had an impact on the score of that game because Ohio State couldn't get much going offensively. And when they did, Michigan was able to rely on the run game and break a lot of long runs, even all the way into the end zone to keep a hold of that lead. So, like you mentioned, nobody expected them to go into the playoffs. I think it was like 0.2 chance to win the Big Ten and like 0.0 something to go into the playoffs. So they defied all odds this year. Jim Harbaugh secured his job at Michigan, even though he was talking about going to the NFL and stuff. He just signed a 5-year extension with them. So I say the future is bright at Michigan. Any year you beat Ohio State and, especially you win the big title and go to the playoffs, that's a great year for them. But like you alluded to, it's kind of expected. Michigan football is like the pride and joy of Michigan University. And so you kind of expect that this success, I think it's great for them. I'm going to go ahead and give them my grade. I'm going to go ahead and give them an A. First time Jim Harbaugh won the Big Ten championship. They weren't able to get a win in the playoffs, but just getting there is, a success in and of itself. It was Georgia's year. Georgia and Alabama, in my opinion, are by far and away the two best teams. I consider all in all this season is a win. Hopefully they can build on it and get better. And Jim Harbaugh can improve on this. We'll just have to see going forward. But, yeah, I'm going to give him an A.
Yeah, I also went with an A. Had they have won a playoff game or beaten Georgia, obviously it would have been an A-plus season for them. But, still, it was a terrific season for Michigan. Michigan fans have been waiting for a season like this for a very long time. And I really do hope Michigan does, continue to build off of this season and go into next season a little more confidence. And I think they're going to be a pretty good team next year, too. It's like a lot of people now, pretty sure, are ready for more teams to kind of be competitive up towards the top along with the Georgias and the Alabamas, because I'm sure as a Georgia fan, obviously I love seeing Georgia at the top, but I'm sure if you're a fan of another team, you want to see different teams up there. You want to see like a Michigan or a Michigan State or someone like along those lines where it's not just the same 4 teams going to the playoffs every year. I feel like a lot of people are going to want to start pulling for Michigan to contest, your Georgias and Alabamas. So hopefully, I'm even hoping, I have nothing against Michigan. I've always, liked Jim Harbaugh as a coach. And then for him to stick it out and then, defy all odds, like you said, and get a win over Ohio State this year, I got a little more respect for him now. So I wouldn't have no problem seeing Michigan be a very successful program. But yeah, y'all, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And also check out our playlist of the report card series. We've already done a few teams already, so if you enjoyed this one, I'm sure you guys are going to like the other ones we did. Also, leave down below in the comments of what teams you guys would like us to see do next. We're going to be doing these all throughout the offseason. Obviously, we're not going to do every single Division I football team there is out there, but we're going to cover a lot of the big schools and their seasons. But if you want us to see us do a team, just feel free to leave it down below in the comments. Also, we're also starting a new series of NBA videos. If you're an NBA fan, we're about to start comparing players. We just released a video a couple of days ago comparing Jokic and Embiid. So if you're an NBA fan and you want us to see us compare certain NBA players, feel free to leave down below in the comments of what players you would like us to see compare. But yeah, y'all, that's it for this video. Catch you in the next one.